again.
Hi, I'm back again.
You're back again. Before, we were uncertain as to what would happen. Many people were hopeful that the court would rule this way. But what are your thoughts right now?
I'm very relieved and very pleased because they haven't managed to rule emphatically against Julian. They haven't ruled that he must go to the USA, and we're not being forced to go to the European Court of Human Rights as we would have done straight away. And so this means it's all got to be done over again in the Supreme Court here. That's good. We'll fight it. And look at the people here. We're keen, we're desperate, and we're going to do it. I know to Julian it's longer spell now in Belmarsh. And if Julian ever sees this, Julian, just want you to know a lot of people support you. There's a lot of love for you out there, and we're going to fight this thing through all the way.
Absolutely. Love and respect. We were just talking about Stella and the role she has played in this, and the fact that she could go and stand up against the American empire representing her family and this movement, and then come out and in defiance of the American empire. And that's one of the things, Jeremy, you've been a global leader. And one of the things you really have been has been an anti-imperialist leader when we've had a dearth of those. And so going forward for the anti-imperialist movement, for lack of a better term, some people who are against all these wars, what does this say to you?
Exactly. I mean, when we were talking at the rally earlier this morning, I was making the point there that Julian exposed the dishonesty and the lies surrounding Afghanistan, surrounding Iraq, Libya, Syria, all the other wars. And then you think of the refugees that are in Calais, often from Afghanistan and other places. They're the victims of war. And what Julian has done is exposed the lies of war and exposed the dishonesty of it, and the dishonesty of the arms trade. And who's being punished? Julian. Who's not being punished? Those that ordered the shooting, those that ordered the bombing, those that paid the arms industry. The world's turned upside down, but you know what? Today we've turned it just a little few degrees the other way. And I want to say a huge thank you to Stella and all of the Assange team, because they're doing, have done, and will always do a fantastic job.
Right, exactly. And the calls, one after another, the U.S. should drop. There's nothing but shame for the U.S. going forward. There's nothing for shame for the U.S. preceding this. But what do you think the U.S. is going to do?
My message to President Biden is quite simply this. You call yourself a Democrat. You walk in a tradition, some of which is a good tradition, of people that stood up. Those that stood up on Watergate. Those that stood up against the Vietnam War. Those that stood up for the Civil Rights Movement. That tradition is, as he knows, alive and well in many parts of the USA. Join that tradition, drop the appeal, and free Julian. It's in your hands.
Absolutely. And last thing, Jeremy, asked you earlier, we weren't certain what was going to happen. Now that we know what happens, what do you want people to do?
Carry on campaigning and intensify that campaigning, because yes, a court acts in an independent way. Obviously, I fully understand that. But you know what? Courts respond to the atmosphere that's there. The atmosphere of society, the atmosphere in the media, and the atmosphere of public opinion. The court of public opinion is with Julian. Let's make sure